Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to make some sugar cookies, and if you're a fan of cutout cookies, that's what these are, except that you don't have to cut them out. There's a couple different methods you can use where they come out just like cutout cookies, but they'll just be circles. We're going to start out with a cup of butter, and I'm actually going to let that cream for about 4 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to add my egg. And my vanilla. And by the way, I will have the recipe in the description. So now before I put the rest of the ingredients in, I'm going to switch over to my different paddles so that the whisk I was using was to cream the butter, but by the time I put flour in, we want to have these other paddles. So switching over, I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Let that go for a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to add my dry ingredients, and if you want to, you can always get a different bowl and put all your dry ingredients in there and sift it all together that way, but I never like to dirty another bowl, so the way that I do it is I just sift it right into this bowl. I need 3 cups of flour, so I'm going to put the first cup of flour along with the baking powder and the salt in, and then I'll put in another cup of flour and another cup of flour. So there's the first cup of flour. Got a teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to mix that in, and then I'll put the rest of the flour in after. And there's my third cup of flour. Okay, so we're just going to use a scooper and scoop onto the cookie sheet. And these cookie sheets, I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but they're kind of hard to find. This is an extra large baking sheet. You can fit so many more cookies on it than you can a regular standard size pan. I love these. I'll put a link in the description if you have any interest in getting any. Okay, just so these turn out looking extra nice, I'm going to take each one and roll it into a more perfect ball. Okay, now you got to find something with a flat bottom. I'm just going to use this. You might have a a glass or something that would work, but just so long as it's completely flat. Just going to give them a squash. They stick, but one thing you can do if you're not going to put any kind of frosting on them, you can dip, after you dip this in the dough so that it gets a little bit sticky, dip this in some sugar, and then as you squash it, it won't stick to your measuring cup or glass or whatever you're using. But I'm planning on icing these, so I don't want to put sugar on the top of them, but it's no problem. I just peel it off. Okay, they're ready for the oven. Okay, so our cookies are out of the oven and they've cooled, and there's about 3 different ways you can decorate that are really easy. These, I know they aren't cutout cookies. We didn't cut them out, but they taste like cutout cookies. So you can buy some ready-made frosting. You can just put it on as thick as you like. That's one way. Put some sprinkles on there. Another way is you can take that same exact frosting, put it in the microwave for between 15 and 25 seconds and dip your cookies. Let the frosting kind of drip off. And the third way is you can put some glaze on it. And I made this glaze with 1 cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of milk. And it will dry sort of hard. And you can just drizzle some of that on there. And you can still put sprinkles on. The secret with sprinkles is you just always have to put them on while the icing is fresh and wet, because if it starts to dry, the sprinkles won't stick at all. So there you go. There's your recipe for, it's kind of like cutout cookies that you don't have to cut out. You just roll them into balls, flatten them, and they taste just like regular cutout cookies. And you have multiple ways you can decorate them that are all easy. And I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm glad you were with me today, and I hope to see you again soon, and the recipe will be in the description. Take care.